Dudes. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Me and Melissa are here with the Monster Squad. How's it going, everybody?
Hanging in there, doing good. How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Especially because you guys are here. This is just amazing. So happy this is happening. Um, Before we even begin talking about the past, we should talk a little bit about the future for those everyone just joining right now. Um, the last time you were on the show, Andre, you were talking about a little documentary you made called Wolfman's got NARDS, and it just got a release date, and it's happening this month. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that did. We were kind of in the embargo of not being able to talk about a release date right when, last time we hung out on your show. But
Yeah.
yeah, it got released a couple days ago. October 27th is going to be the main VOD and Blu-ray DVD release date, which is kind of awesome. It's pretty good timing.
Nice. I like
Should
it.
be working for, people on Halloween weekend that either are not having Halloween activities, or if they are having Halloween activities, they can, they can order that. They can download it digitally on iTunes. That link is out there now, or they can pre-order the Blu-ray on Amazon and a couple other places. Or you can just rent it and download it on whatever your preferred VOD platform is, be it Amazon, iTunes, Comcast, Dish, Spectrum, all that good stuff.
Amazing. And Ryan, we have never met before until tonight. And I would just like to say it is a pleasure to meet the man who was defending people from bullies long before Captain America was. But Ryan, how are you doing? How are you doing, dude? Tell. I'm meeting you for the first time. So is Melissa. How feel you?
I feels good. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm like just isolated my apartment for I don't know what is it 3 years now. How long has this been going on? So
Two and a half.
I've lost all track of days and times. I can care less if it's Saturday or Tuesday. But I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm alone. I've got my little apartment downtown Los Angeles. And I've got movies and books, stacks of books to read. I'm writing a bunch now. Wine helps. I don't know. I'm doing okay.
Amazing. Okay, boys. So, as we delve deep into the past, I would like to hear very much your first impressions of each other. So, Andre, what did you think of Mr. Ryan Lambert when you first met him?
I don't know what's funny is I didn't know Ryan until I think, what is it, 2-3 weeks before we started shooting. You and I ended up meeting at a party, and we're like, oh, it's you, and you're like, oh, it's you, and it's like, I think we're doing a movie together next month. No, I mean, he was cool. We were at a party. We were all dressed kind of cool and had a lot of hair product and looking bitchin'. And we just kind of hung out. And I think we have some photos from that night, that we've kept and we pull out every once in a while and laugh at.
Nice.
I think it was in, it's in that building at the top of the tower. No, it was at where the Hollywood Athletic Club is in the bottom now, that old kind of stone building across from Cat and Fiddle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was upstairs in that party space. Right. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, cool dude. I mean, he was fly. He was Mr. Cool, and I mean, I kind of was too, I think.
Oh, for sure, Mister.
But no, we just kind of hung out and became pals, and then we started working.
What do you have to say about this, Ryan? Like, let's hear your interpretation of meeting a.
I remember someone was. I just remember walking, I think, into like some party, and like someone was talking to me, and I was like, "Who is that? Who's talking?" And I was like, "Oh, hi down there. You're the leader of the Monster Squad? Okay." No, we were. I think we were like instantly pals because even like, while we were shooting, or even right beforehand, I had to like go off and do some training for learning how to use the bow and arrow properly. So I was in a Roxbury Park, I believe, or Pico. I don't remember what park it was. But yeah, I had a trainer teaching me how. But Andre had a whole setup in his backyard. He's like, just come over and we'll just shoot bow and arrows in my backyard, and it was
So cool.
much more efficient than the guy in the park, and it just felt more fun. So, I got to use the bow and arrow, and I got to in the film steal the bow and arrow and all that. But
Yeah.
Andre did teach me how to actually use the thing. So there you go.
Well,
And I think that's a good thing because that guy in the park had nothing to do with the movie. It was just some random dude in the park, Ryan. So I don't know what you're hanging out with that guy for.
I love the
Amazing.
scene
I
where
just
you're
walked
where
up to
you're.
a guy and I was like, "Can you teach me how to use this?" Yeah.
I love the scene where you're stealing the bow and arrow because it was like almost. It was just so like looking around and it was super like funny to see you amongst all those people out in the open when you stole it. I love
as
that
we
part.
Yeah, those montage sequences were pretty quick. They were shot pretty quick. It was, they set it up, and then Fred just said to me, he goes, steal the bow and arrow that's on the ground. He goes, but do something funny. I'm like, okay, do something funny. Like, I'm the monkey. Let's do something funny. So I don't know. I can't remember what I did, but I made a little face. I did a little bit of
You're like,
is everybody looking? Is no one looking? And then I'm out. And then they were like, and that was the end of that.
Okay, so gentlemen, Jonathan Hale Reynolds is saying, I literally just put on Monster Squad to watch this evening, and this live show popped up in my feed. Great way to kick off October.
no.
We agree. This is why we're doing it today. In fact, gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the show today, because Montreal just went in another pseudo lockdown for 28 days where we're not supposed to hang out with our friends or loved ones in different.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
we're gonna on this show, we're gonna try to entertain the crap out of people all month, and we're starting off strong with you two.
Yeah.
We have
Wow.
Melissa. Do you have a question for Ryan or Andre here as I get a clip ready?
It's a question I've wondered. It's really random, but I want to know where was like the hair and makeup trailer when you guys were shooting at the big spooky house on Shadowbrick Road? Like, where's the base camp in that situation? Where was all that?
I think Shadowbrook Roadhouse was on Universal backlot, I think. So base camp was like across the street from Shadowbrick Road. It's just one of those houses that is on the backlot because we kind of shot mostly on Warner Brothers main lot, Warner Brothers ranch lot, and a little bit at Universal. And yeah, I think that it was just I don't think those houses are even there anymore. I think they've replaced them with something else. But that was just sort of like a cul-de-sac or an enclave little setting of old cool style houses that you can dress up, just facades. And then the interior of that was all on a stage on a set. But yeah, that was that's the cool thing about movie magic is not everything's an actual practical location or set. And it just kind of funky. It's neat how they stitch it all together and make it look natural. But it fools a lot of people sometimes. But no, it's right there on the back lot, I think, of Universal, if I'm not mistaken.
And are there tours for tourists, basically like bus tours of, let's say, the town square and things like that?
Sorry, I was drinking tea.
I think they do that.
You
Like
love
the Warner
tea.
Brothers backlot tour.
Yeah. And have
Yeah.
you been on them?
Yeah, the Warner Brothers backlot, like the whole square. Yeah, the square that we're in, where the whole final battle sequence happens that's been used for everything. That was Rebel Without a Cause. That was Gilmore Girls. That was, I see
Elvira.
it all the time. I'm watching TV. Elvira, yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's the Monster Squad set or whatever. The funny thing is like the set where like the diner that we used. You're seeing it from this angle, camera's pointing at it, and like you were saying, where's the crew or where are the trailers and stuff? It's like literally like right off, like across the street, like in the Munsters house. You know what I mean? Like you can't see the Munsters house, but we're like really right. We're right across the street from it. So I mean, now
That's
it's like
amazing.
painted pink or whatever, but I mean, it's like, and those houses are all completely empty, obviously, and like that's where we would eat lunch, like in the Growing Pains house or the Munsters house or whatever, that street. I mean, that street is Desperate Housewives. That's whatever they call
Wow.
that street, the Wisteria Lane or whatever.
Mhm.
That's like where
That's
we
great.
shot a lot of stuff. So
Yeah,
That's
that town square in Warner Brothers has
Fun
been in.
facts.
They've got a plaque, that's got. Warner Brothers is probably one of the cooler lots to be on or to take the tour. Universal does their kind of tram tour, but Warner Brothers does a cool thing that Ryan and I actually know some of the tour guides in that whole crew because they're all kind of cool people, and they go around in like 12-person golf carts and give you kind of like a little intimate guided tour of the history of Warner Brothers, and that's a really good tour if you're, when the world starts turning and you can go do shit like that again. Go check the Warner Brothers one out because they're cool people that are the tour guides, and it's a really neat tour because you get to see some cool stuff. And what's interesting about kind of the lots, the set and the areas and the towns and the cities, like right behind the facade of the like City Hall on Town Square is Paris Street. And so Paris Street, it's like a block or two of what you would think mid-century Paris would be, and that's actually where they shot Casablanca.
Wow.
And then across from that window, when he comes out in Casablanca, when they're invading Paris and they're escaping, it's that little cafe where they shot La La Land, where she worked in the little bakery. So it's like it's all you never know what's right across the street from each other. So it's it's really neat to go around the corner and see all that stuff.
Amazing.
Oh, my brother had a question here. Nick, it's my brother. Brent Challam, who played the part of Horace, passed away in 1997 in his early 20s. Can you share any memories that you might have about him?
Oh, that's an awesome question, Nick.
Yeah.
Go, Lambert.
I was like going to say, I'm like,
tough.
you guys are having
Tough.
a Mexican standoff.
He was a sweet kid, He was really super excited to be. We were all excited to be there, but he, there was a wonderment to his, demeanor. Like he was just constantly like, "Hey, what's up? Are you? Can I hang out with you guys?" And we always had a handball game going outside of our school, our little room that was our collective school, and we would have a handball game. So I remember teaching him how to play handball, and he was terrible at it. I liked I think we played a practical joke on him once. I might have just jumped out of somewhere like boo something, and it took him down. He was like, he totally freaked out, and I believe either Fred or one of the producers told us not to do that anymore.
Wow.
But we were just kids. We were all having fun.
Yeah.
Andre, what about you?
He was just
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The delay is screwing all of
Oh,
us
yeah.
up. Ryan, that was an absolutely beautiful story,
yeah.
and really humanizes a human being that I only saw in character for a short amount of time. So thank you very much for telling us that story. Andre, do you have a similar story of either lovable mocking or?
Yeah, he was a year or two younger than I was, and Ryan was a year or so older than I was. So he was fairly young and had worked a little bit, but was still pretty new and green. And Ryan and I had worked a little bit more, in our veteran early teens, and we'd been in business for a long time. And just Ryan sums it up well. He was a sweet, innocent kid. His kind of the wonderment is kind of a perfect adjective for that. You just kind of all of that came through in his character, which made him even more real than just some kid playing another kid. Brent was Horace, and it wasn't like there was no facade there really, or no kind of like mugging it up or trying to create something out of that's artifice or anything. It was all kind of real and natural, just came through them, and I think that's what really resonated with a lot of the fans that connected with Brent as Horace, and that's everybody's one of their favorite characters. That they're like, Horace is the badass, and Rudy's the cool kid, and Horace ends up being the badass.
Yeah. My name is Horace is definitely a phrase that I hold near and dear to my heart. Yannick saying, "What's up? What's up?" Yannick, I'm
Hey,
sure you're watching.
Hey,
with
Yannick.
Saber. His son has the same
Hey.
jacket as I do. So
Yeah, Saber's so cool.
So there are so many people making comments and stuff like that. I would just want to. People are saying they're literally watching Monster Squad at this exact moment. That's crazy. That's just.
We have
That's,
Robert Elder who had a question as well, dear. How does it feel to be a cult icon for so many of us 30-plus-year-olds? It's a loaded question.
That's Ryan and I, we get a kick out of that because we talk about it, and we get to go to appearances or screenings or conventions, or just sitting around having a grilled cheese at our favorite diner. I don't know if we really. I think we understand it. I don't think we consider ourselves that, but we wear the badge proud because I think you would be doing a disservice not only to yourself, but kind of all the fans that have given you that badge, because it's because of them that you are, and not many people walking around on the planet get to get to say they're in that kind of in that realm or that club. It's a very small number. So I certainly appreciate it and respect what it is. And it's always kind of cool. It's you got to take what you can get. I wasn't a rock star, so it's that's always like the ultimate cool. I wasn't in bands and super bitching like Mr. Lambert, but holding something like this with Monster Squad and all those fans that 30 plus years later became this crazy thing that did not kind of peter out or die, and then has become like this amazing kind of army of fans out there that have just kind of held you up in this kind of respected esteem. I think that's pretty cool.
Amazing.
Cool.
What about you, Ryan? 30 plus years later, all us 30-year-olds that worship this movie, how does it feel after all these years?
Well, I mean, I almost feel like it's a spoiler. Like, go watch the doc. That's what it's about.
There you go.
What the documentary is about, and you will see, our answers within that world of. It's just been, it's been so many years since it came out and tanked. So for us, we're like, I didn't have the VHS for years watching it. I never even thought about it. I'm like, I'm going to go off and play music, and I'm going to be in bands and stuff. And then eventually someone, it was Eric Vespi from, Ain't It Cool News and Alamo Draft House in Austin, Texas said, we're going to do a screening. And I was like, who's this? What? For what? And they're like, we're going to do a screening of the Monster Squad. And we were like, and I was like, why? Like, that's a terrible idea. Like, there's gonna be like 4 people there. Well, we got there, and it was Easter weekend, I think, and there were 2 completely sold out screenings. And that was the first time after all these years where I was like, wait, what? Like, people still watch this shit? Like this is crazy. And I thought that was it. It was a one-off. For some reason in Austin, Texas, it's like a big thing, and no one else knows it. And then all of a sudden, it was just like kabam, and it was everywhere. And like we were going to conventions, and we were meeting people, and there were T-shirts, and people were dressed like us, and I was like, this is absolutely bonkers. So while you guys were all like growing up and watching it, and having the Laserdisc and the VHS, and wearing it out and stealing it from the video store, I literally had no idea any of that was happening. So. Wow. To have it like kind of hit you all at once was a little overwhelming. But now, like Andre said, like, we get it. I don't feel that way. Like, I'm a cult icon. Woohoo! But like, it does feel, it's an interesting thing. to have that happen to you much later in your life, and not have it like be this thing that gradually happened.
Well, maybe it prevented you guys from being dicks. Like if the Monster Squad was a runaway hit, and all of a sudden you're surrounded by wealth and cocaine at a fucking young age, you would have grown up to be pieces of crap who would never do our show.
I've been banned since I was 14. Yeah, I've been traveling and playing in bands since I was 14. So yeah, I know all that.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. We got some great clips. Everybody, keep asking your questions, and we will definitely get to them. But Ryan, aka Rudy, I pretty much have there's a scene that stands out in my life where I always wanted to be a cool kid because then I could do this for somebody else, and I find myself pretty much probably when I was younger being the kid on the floor as opposed to the kid that stopped the stopped the bullies. But I really want to watch this clip with you guys. And this is the world's first introduction to how cool Rudy was. And coming to the aid of Mr. Horse, let's take a look at this classic clip that made everybody not only fall in love with Rudy the character, but the Monster Squad in general. And you guys weren't even a squad yet. All right, check it out.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show. Tonight's question, what makes a fat kid fat? Fat kid?
Get out of here, EJ.
Get out of here, EJ.
Nope,
Not a good answer.
Doesn't make any sense.
Let's go to our man on the street, Derek.
Hi, I'm Derek, and I'm in the street where Fat Kid is blocking traffic. Fat Kid, can't you stop eating?
Look, I have a glandular problem, okay? At least I don't have a stupidity problem.
Did you say faggot? What'd you say?
My name's Horace.
Horace. Oops. That's all right. I guess I must have a stupidity problem. What'd you say, faggot? What'd you say?
Shit, you're an asshole.
Hey, Rudy.
EJ? See, you met my friend Horace. You okay?
Rudy,
You dropped your candy bar, EJ.
It's his.
It's yours now.
Rudy.
Eat,
Rudy, I'm not gonna sit
Eat
here
up.
and eat.
and we'll call it a day.
Love that satisfied look he has on his face. And it's
Yeah.
funny, in a post-pandemic world, that eating that candy bar off the ground is 4,000 times more disgusting than it ever was in the 80s.
Nick asks, what was Jason Hervey like on the set, and is he still attached to the Monster Squad at all?
Well, I had known Jason for years, and then we all grew up kind of in the industry together, and even after Monster Squad, Ryan Lambert and Jason got super tight and hung out a ton, and we were all just pals because you're kind of around each other all the time. He's a great face on camera. He's a great presence in a scene, and he always plays great roles. And he's been off developing shows and producing stuff for the last 10 or 20 years. And I've seen him recently, once or twice, but I haven't seen him a ton. So he's just off, he's off, making shows and doing cool stuff. But cool kid. I grew up when we were younger. I hung out with him a ton, and we would spend the weekend at each other's houses. And he lived on the west side, and I lived down in the valley. And then Brian and Hervey, were pals for many years, and would drive around and hang out. So I'm sure you guys have some crazy stories.
Ryan, so when you were filming that scene, Andre here has told me. What's the matter? You okay?
Yes. Yes.
What happened? What did I do?
I teed it up.
Gotcha.
I teed it up for you, and you just went. Okay.
I'm sorry for. I'm sorry, Rudy.
I love it.
Oh,
Oh,
I actually didn't miss that reference. The last time we interviewed Andre, he said Steve does count because my other brother Steve,
Yeah.
this Steve does count, and I was like, oh, thank you. And my brother was like, you're not allowed to be in this family anymore for missing that reference. It's like,
Um,
right.
the reason why I'm bringing all this up is that Andre has told us that you have a backstory for Rudy that you don't really see on screen, but you as an actor had a complete backstory of his methods and why he does what he does, why he stood up to Horace. For Horace, I would love to hear your interpretation of that scene.
Yeah.
well, it kind of all started when I was being fitted for wardrobe. Uh, they had like 4 or 5 jackets that I was trying on, to see which one looked the best on camera. And she put the one jacket on me that I actually wear in the film, and I didn't like it. Like I was like, ugh, like this doesn't feel like something I would wear. And she looked me right in the eye and she goes, "You're not playing you." And I was like, whoa. Like that. Now I had to like figure it all out a little bit. And so, reading through the script a bunch of times, I just started realizing that like no one really knows who this person is. You see Sean, you see his mom, you see his dad, you see his sister, you see the family. Dysfunctional as they may be, you see what's happening in their lives. You kind of can guess the rest of the kids. You get to see Eugene's father, but it's just there's so much. There was so many rumors within the script, in the dialogue. I heard he killed his dad. He's like, what? So you just kind of have to figure it out. Where, you can say like, oh, he's, maybe he's like Bender from the Breakfast Club, like his dad. So smoke him up, But I always thought like, well, let's not worry about that part about it necessarily. But like, take the jacket off, take the the smoke out of his mouth, put his hair down a little bit, and he's just a kid that like probably just is lonely, wants friends, and somehow knows a shit ton about monsters more than a monster club.
and how to kill them.
He knew all the answers. He knew where all the maybe he studied them before because he knew like I'm getting in this club. I'm getting in this thing. And he did have obviously like he was defending Horace, so like he had like something. There was something in him that just like was drawing him to these particular kids, even though he was older. And then, of course, when he discovered Patrick's sister, I mean, that was a no-brainer. He's like, I'm definitely in this, whatever the hell this is. I'm staying. But yeah, I always feel like everyone's like, oh, he's so cool, he's so cool. Like people say like, oh, James Dean's character in Rebel Without a Cause is so cool. It's like, not at all. Watch that movie again. Zero cool. Like he's a loner and a crazy person. He's not like this like super cool badass dude. Kind of becomes one a little bit, but it's sort of out of circumstance. He has to like put on a persona. So like to me, like Rudy was wearing a, not just me wearing a wardrobe, but like Rudy as a person was wearing a costume.
I totally get that.
He's badass. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. You got to be kind of badass
There's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to it than like, oh, he's cool. Yeah. It's boring.
He has good aim.
That's kind of boring. He's just cool.
He was not one-dimensional.
Yeah.
No,
For a guy that's
no.
never shot a bow and arrow, he nailed it right on tape.
Oh my God, yeah.
Andre, I want to say a little something about your character. As I watched the movie
Tell you
again
what's
in
so
prep.
good about that film in general.
Sorry.
Most
Oh, sorry, Ryan. Please continue. There's about a 5-second delay between the two of us.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to
I
be.
was just gonna say. I was just
Please.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that I think all the characters, that's what's so great about the Monster Squad, and so great about the screenplay itself. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, here's some kids doing stuff. It's like backstory. The development of the characters is pretty heavy. I mean, the whole just putting like an entire like wedge between a family in the middle of a monster invasion.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like get the feeling that there's a little bit more to this whole thing than what you're just seeing, especially when you're a kid watching it. Maybe that stuff like goes past you a little bit, but as you watch it like over and over again, as you grow older, it's like there's a little bit more to the story than meets the eye, I think.
That's such a great point. I know that when I was watching it growing up, I would gravitate towards the kids, and now that I'm older, I can kind of see the arguing between Sean's parents. So it's a movie that grows on you, I guess.
For sure. I think if it was just a bunch of kids swearing, like, for no. I think if it was just a bunch of kids, like, just swearing and getting in trouble, it wouldn't be, it had to have some heart in it. Please, you're saying, Ryan?
Rudy, if you notice, Rudy never, ever calls him fat kid.
Nope.
And he doesn't swear.
Oh yeah.
I think he
We
says
say
he's a
goddamn
dork.
club.
He says, yeah.
That's about it. But like, yeah, I don't consider that swearing, but yeah, I guess. But like, I mean, like really harsh stuff. Like, I mean, obviously, there are words that you cannot say these days, especially in film, but in life in general, like they've become bad words. And they've always been bad words, but in the 80s, that's what kids talked like. That's how they talked, As shitty as that sounds, that's just the way it was.
By the way, Yannick's son, Saber, who's awesome, is asking if you smoked a real cigarette in that scene.
It was a cigarette. Yeah, it wasn't a fake cigarette. It was actually lit and smoking.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a secret in there, but I'm gonna probably keep that to myself because the prop guy was an old man, and I'm sure, God bless him, he's probably not of this world anymore. But I don't want to like get him in trouble still. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Hey, Andre, when I was rewatching this movie, I kind of realized that, nobody wants to be the leader, but somebody has to. And it seems that you've taken a lot of the traits that Sean did in real life, where you're like, well, I'm going to direct a film. and you got to kind of be the leader that no one wants to be, because you have to wrangle everybody together. But what I want to do right now is watch this scene with you guys when you guys decide to become not a monster club, but a squad, and how the world needs you to get your shit together and to fight these monsters. And I realize, I'm like, this is my favorite scene of Sean in the entire movie for sure, because it takes somebody has to light the match, and you definitely did it. So everybody on the internet right now, let's check out this classic scene where a club becomes a squad.
Okay, we're all here. What's the deal?
Yeah, what the hell's Monster Squad?
It's us. We're the Monster Squad.
Since when?
Since now.
What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
Look, I think there's monsters, like real ones. I heard my dad talking on the telephone to a guy down at the police station. There was a guy screaming he was a werewolf, and they shot him. Then the body disappeared from the coroner van. The coroner guy was dead.
So what? He got shot and a werewolf took his body?
No, you peenhead, he was a werewolf. Maybe.
But if they shot him...
It must have been regular bullets, not silver ones. Look, I know this will sound pretty stupid, but a mummy disappeared from the museum tonight.
Mummy came in my house.
And you guys, Dracula might be here too. Oh man, fat kid farted. Can't you hold it? God damn it, would you shut up? Did you hear a word I said? The guys are dead. Get a clue? Something's out there and it's killing people. And if it's monsters, nobody's gonna do a thing about it but us.
So what do we do?
I think this book might be important. Look, it's Van Helsing's diary. My mom said they found it in an old house on Shadowbrook Road. But I can't read it. It's all in German.
My sister takes German in high school. She sure doesn't speak German. All she does is hang around and let guys touch her tits.
Sister wouldn't happen to live next door, would she?
Yeah, so what?
That girl's your sister?
So what do you say? Are we Monster Squad? Or what?
How does that dog get up here anyway?
I love that line. How does that dog get up here anyway? It's absolutely amazing. I know. Thanks for enduring that, guys, because I know you've seen these clips probably a billion times, especially you, Andre, with your documentary. But everybody online, I just love. Every time I watch these clips, I feel the same way I did when I was a kid, where I'm like, there's something special happening in this movie, and the comedic timing. Just adding that line, how does that dog get up here anyway? Was that like an overdub, or was that like in script?
Yeah, I think that was actually on the page, and everybody always asks, how does Pete get up there? And they just cut it out, but we actually they shot the scene like there's a dumbwaiter, so we hoist him up in a dumbwaiter, and like we pull him up on a pulley, which is kind of rad. Which I think Fred totally stole from which Bond movie was it, when he goes up the cliff face and he has to go up, and then I was like, hey, that's a dumbwaiter. I was like, I know where he got that from, because Fred's a big Bond guy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those scenes that, that's where the kind of group and the story takes a turn, because things are real. Ryan alluded to it earlier about the backstory and actually the character development of everybody in the movie, especially the squad members. That's the one thing I lament that we don't see in the final product of the movie that got released, is in the script and on the page there was a lot of backstory with these kids as individuals and as a group, of how tight knit that they were with each other, how knowledgeable they were of the monster lore and the literature and the history and comic books and how everything ties together. And they were, reticent at the beginning about doing anything, but they're the only ones that figured out what was going on. And in earlier drafts and, in a longer movie, you would see that kind of typical, hey, dad, or hey, grown-ups, this is happening. And they're just like, yeah, whatever, silly, go back to your comic books and your crazy video games. You're being insane. And the adults weren't going to do anything about it. So it's left up to us. And we've got to, figure it out and save the day. We don't get a lot of that, but it's kind of implied, and it's in between the lines now with everything there. But I wish we had seen a little bit more of the development between the kids, of really what they knew and how much they, really gave a crap about the things they cared about, which made them dorky and misfits, and, be able to gravitate towards each other because they weren't cool enough to hang out with the cool kids. And but they're the ones that end up saving the day.
Amazing, dude. We have so many questions, and I want to ask you both about this. My buddy Mark Fabrizi, coolest dude in the world, looks like a young Luke Perry. He says, if a sequel were to have ever happened, what do you think could have been the storyline? Bride of Frankenstein appearance, maybe?
Bride's a great character.
That'd be hot.
It's like it's just like a bunch of Bride of Frankenstein's invasion, but I don't think we'd win that one. So I don't know if that's a good idea. That might be too formidable. Look, I mean, everybody's talked about, reboots, remakes, and actually, the core fans, that are in the Monster Squad fan base, they'd like a sequel. And what would that be? I love everybody's takes on it. Everybody's like, well, I think you need to fight Jason and Freddy, or, we always toy, we like, we should grow up and fly jet aircraft and fight Godzilla. But I think I always wanted to actually be friends with Godzilla, because Godzilla's not a bad guy. Yeah, he destroys towns, but like all those other kaiju would destroy Japan if Godzilla didn't come and take care of business. So Godzilla would be kind of like our Frankenstein in a sequel. He'd be on our side. Look, there's a neat way to do it. I think there's a cool story out there if it was done right. I'm winking, nodding to Lambert, but we've talked about it over the time, and there's some cool stuff out there. I think if anybody ever did make a sequel to it, it's important that you actually, it's opposite of studio think, but you have to make it for the original fans, and don't worry about a wider audience, because you're going to do a disservice to that original core. And I think you need to give it to them first, and then let them bring in other people, or other people find it. And I think there's some great stuff. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff missing, in the first movie, or the first movie in the Monster Squad, that you can fill in some holes. We got a lot of payoffs that we didn't know were payoffs because we never got the setup, and vice versa. Some big, giant stuff that Shane and Fred wanted to do on the page. I think you could do that, in a new context. Yeah. And I think there's a great way to, bring the story back around. And I think the most important thing of it is that it's a passing of the torch type thing.
Amazing. Hey, Ryan, we got to get some more words from you and perspectives. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Someone said Tim Ryan says we need Monster Squad action figures. I'd buy them up. I would buy them up too. I want a Rudy action figure. Did fans ever make you a Rudy action figure?
Yeah, I've seen a few. Some are just like, they look like a refitted Star Wars action figure from the 70s. So it's just like a stick, they just painted like on it. And then like full blown, like in the package, like all buff with like, all the accessories, and off to the side, like there was a beer and a cigarette and a bow and arrow and a steak or whatever. And literally looks nothing like me, of course. But I think the coolest one was one time we were at a convention and someone brought up a 2-pack of Sean and Rudy Funko Pop. And I was like, whoa! I mean, literally, like they had it custom made. Funko Pop didn't do, run off Monster Squad Funkos, but like it literally looked no different than a regular Funko Pop. It was like the real deal. It was like, wow. And that was
wow.
I think you can see
Funko Pop is
online if you want to look at it. There's some pictures on my Instagram that I took,
cool.
So you can go on.
Funko Pop should do it. I don't know why there's not a full line. It's Spirit Halloween.
Really cool.
Amazing. So Nick Alianos, Melissa's brother, he was saying, are we ever closer?
Yes, this is the answer to the last one and to Nick's question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So are there any closer to, has anyone ever brought up like a toy line or anything like that officially? Or is that all hush hush?
I think there's two reasons no, it's not hush hush. I don't think there's not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's kind of two kind of parallel answers here. One is no one makes action figures to movies that aren't successes.
Okay.
No one made the Ishtar double action figure. Yeah. So
Ishtar.
I mean, they just didn't. And
I wish.
Although that'd be kind of cool to have.
I'd buy that in a second.
I know you would.
All right.
But and the other thing is, I think some people would have jumped in on, like a little niche thing or, a short run, especially in the last 10 or 12 years with this kind of resurgence. I think it's a rights issue. There's always been a rights question and a rights issue surrounding Monster Squad, including production and naming and title rights and merchandise rights. It's just no one really knows where that lies.
Yeah.
And there's even, sort of even to this day right now, with the current studio that says we own the rights to the Monster Squad, it's kind of a weird thing when other people say, okay, prove it. And so it's it's one of those weird things. But hopefully in the next year or two, there could be some movement on something with rights and clearances and things like that. I just think the people have been, shied away or kind of, distanced from that mostly because of a rights thing. And then, like Lambert said, mainly because, you don't make action figures on a movie that didn't do well.
I guess so, but sometimes they will make Funko Pops of cult classics and stuff. I mean, like I'm surprised actual Funko Pop, the company, has not reached out and done this, because there's definitely an audience for it,
and that's where I think the rights thing comes in.
Okay.
It's hard to
Apparently,
track that
there's a pro wrestler who's a Monster Squad fanatic, Matt Cardona.
Yep.
And he's a huge fan, and he knows a gentleman that makes custom figures from the movie.
That is not surprising. I'm pals with Matt, who everybody knew on as Zack Ryder on WWE. Now he's with the other system and doing awesome. But Matt's awesome, and he's actually in the documentary.
Amazing!
Yeah,
you'll be so happy.
He was actually, the timing worked out because Ryan and I were in Orlando for a big convention, Spooky Empire. And Matt Cardona actually, lives in Orlando, and we had connected via social media. And I said, "Well, come and hang out at the convention and hang out, and we'll meet and shoot the fish for a little bit and go to lunch." And he was just like a big kid. Like he was excited to be hanging out with Ryan and I, and we're like hanging out. We're like, "Dude, you're like a huge wrestler," literally and figuratively, because he's like a huge dude. And but awesome dude, really nice. And I just texted him the other day. After the release, of the doc went out, and said, "Hey man, just so this is legit. That's official. And I'm going to hit you up for some, tweeting it out to your like 2.3 million followers that you have."
Yeah, please give us your followers. Maybe a toy line will happen if.
Yeah, but he's a big collector. Like he's a big movie buff, and especially 80s stuff and collectibles. And he has like an unboxing show. Like he's insane. He's like he's always on the move, like doing stuff and collecting things, and it's pretty awesome. He's a really cool dude. Though. I'm glad he's a pal.
All right. I want to bring this up and take a little shit, but the monster. Terror says the Monster Squad and the Goonies have many similarities. I've noticed both of them have the same mother. Is that just a coincidence? Is this a Martha thing?
I'll let Ryan Lambert go into the similarities or differences, but I will address the mother thing. Yeah, Mary Ellen Trainor was the mom to both Mikey and to Sean.
Wow.
Because that's Mary Ellen Trainor, and she was perfect for both those roles. Someone on Twitter just the other day, a day or two ago, was thinking that the Goonies and the Monster Squad are actually in the same universe now, and it's because of the mom. And so like there's actually like a connection and a mashup, through this type of thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're now mashing up Goonies and Monster Squad instead of everybody trying to keep them separate. But yeah, that's neat that, everybody's actors. Like you just read for roles and you get them. And, she ended up being, she's always the newscaster or the mom or the psychiatrist or, she always plays these great roles. And, she looks great on camera and she nails it every time.
So Ryan, what do you think about the similarities that people seem to see in the Monster Squad and the Goonies, and now Stranger Things, which I think they borrow a little bit of that kind of stuff too? A bunch of swearing kids versus some monsters. This delay is so strange.
Okay. So, well, they're both the Goonies and the Monster Squad are both movies. So there's that.
Yeah.
I guess there are kids in it, so that's pretty similar. The Goonies was like a bunch of misfit kids who went on a little weird adventure running away from an old lady and her two bumbling idiot sons. And I believe their goal was to find some sort of treasure so that they could save their town from becoming a golf course. I think I've got that right. The Monster Squad is about a group of kids who battle Dracula to save the world. So I don't know the similar. And the thing is, people always ask me who would win in a fight, the Goonies or the Monster Squad. And I'm
Monster
like,
Squad.
You mean like if they were fighting each other? Like why would they fight each other? They're both good guys, but it's an obvious answer. Like the Monster Squad would destroy those little shits. And, there's no way that they could. I mean, I guess we're outnumbered. We're outnumbered, maybe. But
They would have them eating
magic
chocolate
on
off
our
the
side
floor.
now? Like we have like vortexes, and we could just go bye. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my, yeah. Everybody asks about like
if maybe if we teamed up and fought monsters, but they don't have. They don't have the fighting skills. We're fighting monsters here. We're physically killing creatures. And if we teamed up, they would just be standing behind us going, "Oh my God, what's happening?"
I think an interesting thing in a comparison, not to kind of besmirch the Goonies and that script, because all the kids are great. They're all friends. Like we all grew up with those kids, and they're awesome people. So it's not like a personal thing. I was engaged in a conversation either on another podcast or something not too long ago about the difference in the way the kids actually treat each other and their kind of connection and bond. And it seems like everybody was in there, sort of in similar positions. But it was an interesting hot take if you separate how we view Horace and how they view Chunk. And it was an interesting conversation that someone was talking about, that it's actually like the truffle shuffle. Like nobody else makes him do that, but his own pals. Like they make him do that before he can do anything. Yeah. And they get off and they giggle and they laugh because he's funny. And I think Chunk, played by Jeff Cohen, who's now a very successful entertainment attorney, wow. And doesn't look like none of us look like we do as kids, but. It was kind of interesting. This person was kind of drilling down into the fact that they didn't really treat Chunk well. Okay. Like they didn't have his back. Like there was like, you can't do that until we make fun of you and then you can come inside or something. I was like, that's not really kind of like, yeah, we call Horace fat kid, but we're the only ones that can do that and get away with it. Because he's in our group and in our squad, that becomes a squad. And I thought it was an interesting take. So I'll leave it up to fans and listeners and followers to run with that. Not that we're trying to compare and contrast or make us better than the other thing, but I think it was a little more authentic from the kids' point of view and the group dynamic that we had, perhaps than they maybe came across in their script.
Me and my best friend Jason, who is he is my Patrick to myself, Sean. Definitely, we were the two, and then my buddy Marco is definitely the Rudy of that group. Jason just had a kid this year, just a few months ago, and his name's Grayson, and Melissa and I are his godkids and stuff like that. So years from now, godparents. So years from now, he can watch this broadcast and he can be like, "Hey, my godparents are kind of cool."
Yeah,
because they talk to cool people. So I don't want to keep you guys all night because Andre, I know you have something else after this.
I'm good for a while. Let's keep having fun for a little bit.
Excellent. All right. So, here's a good question. Tammy Coleman saying, in the church part where Ryan bumps into Andre, did he really hurt him?
No, I'll say no. It's called acting. Like, he's supposed to bump me out.
It was.
What was that?
It's it's just blocking. It's like, I'm going to bump you a little bit. It's just blocking, It's just the way. Also, there's ways to do that where it's not as it looks better on film than it did when we were actually doing it, It's more dramatic, I think, in the film. But I probably just nudged him a little bit. But it just looks like I almost knocked his ass over.
I still can't believe that, Andre, you auditioned for Rudy, the role of Rudy.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you audition for any other roles besides Rudy? No.
No. The backstory to that little fun tidbit is, initially coming out of kind of the agent and casting director submissions that was, if you had looked at sort of my body of work leading right up to Monster Squad, that was obviously the role that I would read for in this ensemble movie, because I had been the cool kid in the other groups and, the leather jacket and the good hair. And I screen tested for Rudy, and I remember it vividly. And, they called, a couple weeks after all the screen tests and final auditions and said, "Hey, you got that movie you read for." And I was like, "Great. Which one?" Because, when you're us back in that day, you're reading for 1 or 2 or 4 a day. And they're like, "No, the Monster Squad, that monster movie." I was like, "Awesome." And they're like, "Yeah, but you didn't get the role that you auditioned for." And that's usually a terrible thing to hear, because it usually means a shittier role, right?
Yeah.
It usually means something small.
You're
and
Horace.
I was like, "Oh, I got cast as Derek or something," and which would have been fine. But they said, "No, you got the lead." I was like, "No, I wanted to be Rudy." But look,
you got this great role named EJ.
That's
great
right.
role. You come in, make a presence. You get to eat a lot.
That's right. You eat a lot of Snickers. I always put it this way. I think everybody ended up exactly where they should have been, and I know exactly why I did not get cast as Rudy. Could I have played Rudy? Sure. Would I have been okay at it? Yeah, I would have been okay. It would have been fun, and I probably been a little more, campy, with that. I know exactly why I did not get cast as Rudy. It's because Ryan Lambert went in to that screen test and absolutely nailed it, that gave the whole room no other choice. Like, he is Rudy. And I we've talked about it for years, and I know the story behind it, but that's exactly why he's Rudy, because he walked in there and absolutely hammered it and gave them no other choice, for Rudy. Just like Duncan Regehr did for the role of Dracula. There was other huge actors and unknown actors that are now huge that read for Dracula, and Duncan Regehr, it's about being in the room and bringing it home and nailing it. And that's what Ryan did when he read for Rudy. And, I was fortunate enough that they apparently liked something and said, "Well, I'll tell you what, let's take the jacket off him. Let's, cut his hair, make him as dorky as possible, and he can be the leader." So I was like, that I think it worked out just fine.
I still can't believe who was up for the role of Dracula. You told us last time. You have to, I still find it hard to believe.
At the time in '86 was a relatively unknown Irish actor named Liam Neeson.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That just blows my mind.
Who I dig because the year or two before, he was in Krull, which is, I love Krull.
I haven't seen Krull yet. I really want to. I love 80s action adventures that involve swords and dragons and crap, and
Yeah,
especially ones that no one watched, like Willow.
That's right.
I have an
The
affinity for
fantasy
movies that no one likes.
adventure.
So just to was a Monster Squad sequel ever written? Maybe once the film received cult status.
Not officially.
Okay.
Not officially. I know Fred and Shane would probably bang out a draft of a sequel if someone wanted them to. They've had those conversations with studios and other things. Again, it's a rights issue. And it just doesn't work out. There's been a couple fits and starts. Ryan's heard this story a bazillion times, but he's part of it because we kind of batted it back and forth for a while as we spent so much time with each other the last 10 years. There's a really cool sequel story. It's not a screenplay. It's a really cool sequel story on a laptop that would be a really cool follow up to it because it has all the things that we think should be in there, and it's pretty neat.
Amazing.
Oh my God! Please let that happen.
Ryan, since we have you on the line, and I've never had you on the show before, I would really like to. Someone is bringing this up. Jonathan says after the live show is over, everyone should go on YouTube and look up Ryan Lambert singing "With or Without You" on Kids Incorporated. It's 80s greatness. Ryan, tell me about being on Kids Incorporated. And make sure you cut me off because there's a lag. And when I don't keep talking, it gets strange. So talk any second. Oh, hell.
Tonight's question: why is Fat Kid fat?
Kids
Fat
Incorporated
Kid.
was a show on television.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Kids Incorporated. It's a thing. Kids Incorporated was a show. I was on it. Sure, go on YouTube and check it out.
Good stuff.
Make fun of
Okay.
me all you want. I don't care.
I don't think it's making fun. I'll show you some videos of me singing yesterday. I'm pretty sure they're hilarious. It's something we have to bring up, and it's a little bit of an animosity between the two of you, agreeing about the factual statement of how many monsters Rudy in fact killed in this movie. Now,
Yes.
yeah, let us talk about the confirmed kills, Ryan and Andre. So Ryan, you say 5, and Andre, you are shaking your head in dismay. Like you are the 4.
You said confirmed.
Okay, confirmed kills. Let us view said kills in this clip, and we and the audience will decide tonight once and for all how many monsters got popped by Rudy that night. Here we go.
Give me some slack!
What are you doing?
Patrick, just give me some slack!
No!
You're closer, just give me some slack!
No way!
Don't be a wuss!
Okay.
See you later, Band-Aid breath.
Hey, Reed, go! Wait! Reed! I'm fucking German! Ich bitte Gertschein! Damn me, really, you should read it! He's not a virgin, you stupid! Did you ask him? Where you going, Rudy?
I'm in the goddamn club, aren't I?
I don't believe you! Come on! Birkin, touch him,
Come and get it.
I don't believe this.
Watch it!
Are you absolutely sure that she is?
You're not a virgin, are you? No? No, what do you mean, no? Well, Steve, but he doesn't count! Doesn't count!
God. Thank you.
Told you. Only one way to kill a werewolf.
He killed Uncle Rico. Okay, gentlemen, so let's do the tally and let's get the reasoning. Andre, why do you think there is only 4 monsters dead, considering there were 3 brides? Let's hear your opinion first.
It's all semantics, and we'll go with the journalistic credo. You said confirmed. If it's confirmed, it's 4. There's a 5th implied kill, but it's implied. It's we don't see it. It could have, something else could have happened. Look, I mean, 4 is not enough. Come on, Rudy.
Ryan, your retaliation.
I'm going to change this actually, now that I'm thinking about it a little more. I'm going to say 6. 6.
Oh.
Because there's the 3 vamp chicks, the mummy, the Wolfman, and the man who is the Wolfman. So now it's 6.
Oh.
Oh man. Hmm.
No, same guy. I give you the implied 5th one. I give you the implied 5th one, maybe. You don't get 6 because it's the same guy. Come on. Nick, yes, Patrick did help. He made business.
Wolfman, he's the man. I killed the man.
But you didn't shoot him twice. Oh my God! See, this is what we do all. You didn't do this. I always give him grief because he got to kill all of them.
Well, I think everybody in a Monster Squad helped out a little bit because Horace shot the Gill Man from Creature of the Black Lagoon. Phoebe let go, so she killed Frankenstein right there. I mean, if she was a stronger child, Frankenstein would still be with us. Let's just.
Good Lord! Oh my God! She didn't kill Frankenstein. He went into the other world.
I know.
Right now.
And then Sean got the granddaddy, the head vampire. So
yeah, it's a good kill. It's a good kill.
You were dragged in your high tops across the street and managed to kill not Liam Neeson very successfully. Gentlemen, this has been absolutely amazing today. I hope you guys have just a little bit more time because we do have a lot more other questions coming in. Yeah, and there are so many people that this movie is beloved to everybody who sees it, especially maybe not everybody saw it, but they saw it eventually. And the ones that do, I always gravitated to the fact that all my friends didn't see it. And it was that kind of like, that great secret that I could show them, like that cool band. If everybody liked this band, it was cooler to like this band. and I know that Ryan, you're not only a music fan, but you're a musician. What kind of bands were you both listening to, or music listening to, while you were young teenagers on the set of the Monster Squad? What were your favorite bands back then?
Oh, I'll go first and make it quick because I was much lamer.
Oh, shit.
Much more lame. At that time it was 86, 87. I loved kind of 80s radio, but we were fortunate enough to also live in LA. So we had the initial, we got some radio play from New Wave, like from K-Rock. And so, I loved New Wave type stuff too. Duran Duran, The Cure, Depeche Mode. Ooh. On top of all, Michael Jackson and, Paula Abdul and all the other fun stuff that was on the radio. So we got exposed to, to a lot of it. Ryan Lambert is much cooler because his music knowledge is vast and much more cool. And, he was listening to cooler music at that time. So I'll let him take it from there.
I think that's good music, though. I like that music too.
Yeah, I listen to it to this day, I still listen to almost every genre of music there is. My dad is sort of an aficionado of 50s and 60s and 70s rock and soul. So there was constantly records spinning in our house, being introduced to everything you can possibly imagine. But when I finally, grew up and discovered my own, identity as a music lover, I really gravitated towards a lot of like early 80s Los Angeles punk rock bands. Black Flag, X, Circle Jerks, TSOL. It was all that stuff, and a lot of British punk stuff too, and New York CBGB stuff, Debbie Harry, Elvis Costello, the Ramones, of course, and stuff like that. But I was also listening to weird, crazy voodoo jazz music, and like Andre said, it was of the time. So we also liked Madonna, Huey Lewis and the News. The Beastie Boys was kind of like my jam style. I saw the Beastie Boys open for Madonna on a Virgin tour. And they had
Lord.
Yeah.
And then a year or two later,
the third row, I think, at the Universal Amphitheater. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a year or two later, I went to.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no!
Sorry, I'm stepping on him, but he's going to say the same thing.
It's the fucking internet. It's okay.
The Beastie Boys had a dual concert with Run DMC.
Whoa!
And
cool.
Ryan and I went to that at the. He went a couple times. I only went once, but that was at the Greek Theater. That was a rad show.
That's amazing. Didn't you edit a DMC? Ryan edited a DMC collaboration with the local band Slaves on Dope.
Yeah, Slaves on Dope did a collaboration with Daryl because he put out an EP full of 4 of his original songs, and Slaves on Dope were one of them. And I co-directed a music video called "Coming Like a Rhino." So yeah,
that's rad.
That was fun. And then we went up to Jersey to celebrate Free Record Store Day weekend with Daryl in 3 different places. Went to Staten Island and 2 places in Jersey. It was a lovely weekend. He's a great dude, and he's tall and. Lord, the gun show on him, man. He is a fit individual. He is the king of rock and lifting. I don't know. I'm not good with puns. You're saying, Melissa, say something to the.
Yes, the gun show. Yes, perhaps he should call the vet because those pythons are sick. That's all I got.
Wow! Oh, wow! Instant classic right there.
I love dad jokes. Okay.
Amazing. I can't believe that, Ryan. I can't believe you got to
Oh
see.
my merciful Lord.
I know this is not Monster Squad topic, Ryan, but can you please tell me about the visceral audience reaction that Madonna's fans had to the Beastie Boys on the on that tour? Because I've heard stories from their interviews, her interviews. Like apparently that just did not go very well in general. But how was it for you in the audience? Like, did the audience like the Beasties back then?
They, no one even knew what was about to happen. They just came out and did their thing. They were drinking beer and spitting it all over like 12-year-old girls dressed as Madonna. And it was very unsettling, for sure. I know that a lot of mothers and fathers that brought their children to see Madonna, who in her own right was like this sexual being rolling around on stage in a wedding dress. So there was that anyway going on. But after the show, you go outside and there's like the merch booth, whatever. And I believe I'm probably the only one that bought the Beastie Boys shirt. So
Wow.
I wore that till it disintegrated off of my body because I just worship them to death. And I now to this day I wish I would have also bought the Madonna T-shirt because that was probably pretty cool too, the design or whatever of it, and just have it as a vintage thing. But yeah, I'm pretty sure like I might have been the only one at the Universal Amphitheater that like was all of a sudden immediately like a gigantic Beastie Boy fan.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry, Melissa. Do you have something to say?
I was just curious about because growing up, we had a Monster Squad to talk about with our friends and cousins and brothers and sisters. You guys didn't have a Monster Squad growing up because you are the Monster Squad. So what were the movies that you were like, oh my God, this movie, I've seen it like a zillion times. I worship this movie. What would that have been for the two of you?
Especially one that only got its just desserts years later.
I think, boy, at that time in the mid '80s, a singular film that I had watched a ton, or had, it was probably something like Grease.
Oh, cool.
Which is a great movie. And then, in the horror genre, my favorite horror movie is April Fool's Day. I just like that movie. My favorite classic monster is Creature from the Black Lagoon, because he's different and he's cool, and those movies are kind of badass. But you see so many movies as a kid because you would go every like Thursday night with your pals or Saturday morning with your other pals, and you get to absorb a bunch. But I don't know what I was watching like left and right then. Huge Star Wars fan, obviously. Indiana Jones fan. Those are all awesome. E.T. was huge, so you remember that stuff. So if I had to pick one, it would probably be Star Wars, the first one.
Excellent. And Ryan, tell us, what movies were you loving back in the day? Like, what was your Monster Squad?
I like devoured everything I possibly could. I was a big TV head as well. So, and I was like one of those kids that sat there and watched PBS, and I worshipped Doctor Who when I was a kid.
Oh.
Scooby Doo was amazing. All those like Hanna-Barbera stuff. Obviously Star Wars. Star Wars came out when I was 6. They made that movie for me. I had all the action figures and all that stuff. A little bit later, obviously, all the Spielberg stuff. Indiana Jones, obviously, was huge. I mean, people like, these things became like these iconic things, and Indiana Jones, Star Wars, E.T. But like when we were kids and they were making them and we would go see them, it wasn't like how it is today, where it's like we had never seen anything like this before. Like nothing had ever looked like that on screen. So we couldn't believe what we were seeing. It was amazing. Now kids are like, I'm going to go see the Avengers, and yay, that was good, I guess. We were like, what the fuck is this? This is insanity. And Star Wars was like, even my dad, who took me, was like, oh my God, what are we watching? This is crazy. So it was a little more like magical and a wondrous thing when we were kids. So
It's
those
so
things really
true.
stick with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Nick's bringing up something very cool. Both Melissa and Nick had a cop father when they were young.
Yeah.
John is still with us, of course, but he was a police detective back in the day. So Stephen Mocht was great in the movie. He played both a very believable detective as well as a very believable father. Any thoughts about him?
I always thought he was just such a very deep and kind of heavy skilled actor, because he is. And I never met him before. I'd never seen anything he'd been in, leading up to actually playing his son in a movie and him playing my father. But he was really just, a tough, good actor and deep, if that's, that's probably the only thing I can describe, because he's good. He's good at what he does. He knows what he's doing. And he was a veteran. He'd worked a ton. Just because I didn't see what he did didn't mean he wasn't doing good stuff. And but he was also a father at the time. So, he knew how to treat kids and be that father figure, but also, be a professional around. And then he and I kind of just clicked, I think, because I really like the couple scenes that we have together.
Oh, yeah.
I think the father-son stuff is interesting. But yeah, he really plays that. And again, this is something that we don't quite get enough of in the movie, that how worn out this relationship is and how stressed out these parents are, in dealing with these kids. And, they have this fight, but we only see like 20 seconds of the fight. Like they shot like a 10-minute fight scene, and it was supposed to be featured more, but we only see it, through my perspective. But a lot of people don't catch, later on in the movie after, they fought and he has to leave and he's not holding up his end of the agreement, because some weird shit's happening in the town, and he's burnt out, and he's scruffy, and he's like, I can't, this is the last thing I need right now is, a werewolf, or a mummy disappearing. And, he's not believing any of it. And like, no one does. And he's like, what the hell? But a lot of people don't catch that fight wasn't their first fight. That fight was actually supposed to be their last fight.
Oh.
Because as you come down later, when all the shit's going down, there's luggage at the door and she's leaving.
Yes. Yeah. She's going through the closet and everything.
She's going through the closet, she's packing, and there's luggage at the door when he runs in to find out where we are and talk to me on the walkie-talkie. Like, she's leaving. And then, of course, like a guy getting blown up in her driveway and like a bat turning in front, I guess changes her mind for a second. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, that's a whole other movie. I want to see all of that cut footage of the Dell and Emily stuff where they're just knockout dragging, killing it. It's crazy.
Me too. And Tim Ryan is saying the running time for the Monster Squad was really short, was much cut out of the story that you remember. Well, we just talked about the relationship between the mom and the dad, but I also remember you mentioning the last time we were on the show about the attack on Dracula's castle originally was much bigger, much longer. There was much detail to it. Was there any other scenes that you remember filming being very fond of that didn't that hit the cutting room floor, unfortunately?
Yeah, kind of one main one, which is unfortunate, and it will tie into something Melissa will like. It's at Shadow Brick Road house.
Yes.
And that scene was supposed to be much more complex and different and multi-leveled, like literally multi-leveled, almost like a video game. And when we go to each level, we run into a different, creature or monster. And it was originally supposed to come in, and we see this guy there, and we don't know who he is. And he's like, "Oh, well, maybe you can help me. I think it was saying he was Van Helsing's grandson or something." And he's like, "But can you come in the house and like help? I'm looking for something here." And he leads us down into like this catacombs and of this place. But on our way, we walk past this mirror, and my character actually looks in the mirror and sees everybody there except for him.
Oh, wow.
And if you remember, that would have been a payoff, because we got the setup with Scary German Guy, says, if I was a vampire, I wouldn't have a reflection. It's a very basic setup that we see, and then we start running in this crazy house that has underground kind of catacombs, and that reminds me of an episode of Scooby-Doo. Like we're just running all over the place trying to escape, and we can't get out. And that actor apparently was on set to play that role, and it was time and budget or whatever. Right? They just kind of rewrote it and mashed it all together, and he never got on camera as that guy, and that was Liam Neeson also.
What the heck?
So we almost had a Liam Neeson in a cut. That's kind of funny. That reminds me of Trauma Studios, Trauma Entertainment. We're going to make a movie called The First Turn On, and some young pop star, some young singer showed up to play the role, and the other guy who was making the movie said, she doesn't really fit the bill for her grandfather, but she's like, guys, I'm going to be a really big deal, and she a grandmother. And they're like, nah, but she's not right for the role. And that turned out to be Madonna. So Trauma Entertainment would have had like a DVD that could have said starring Madonna, but no.
But no.
No.
Ryan, do you have a deleted scene that you shot that got cut and you were kind of sad about it? Maybe the death of a third bride,
Howdy, kitten.
There is more to a scene where I put my arm around Lisa Fuller, Patrick's sister, after all the madness is over. That is also a confirmation that Rudy gets the girl. He says, she turns to him and says, do you still have those pictures of me? And I said, yes. And she says, where are they? And I said, they're at home, under my mattress. And then I put my arm around her.
Oh.
They only cut all the dialogue out, and I just put my arm around her. But, I mean, we do, like, walk to the army guys together. I'm holding her. Rudy got the girl. But if they would have kept that damn scene in, it would have just been like, yes,
Aww.
That's what I remember shooting. There was other tidbits here and there, but I think that was the main one. That was a cutting room floor type shit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm aware, like Nick says, there's an extended. Does an extended cut exist? Well, maybe in our dreams somewhere, but I would love to even see like maybe a novelization of the original Monster Squad script or something like that, or a comic book, just something that kind of fills in all these story notes that you're talking about, because good God, I would pay good money for that. I barely buy anything anymore, but I would pay $100 for an extended cut of Monster Squad right now. I totally would.
Well, they did some deleted scenes in the 2007 DVD, but it wasn't all of them.
No.
And it should have been like the one that Ryan was talking about, and more. And the scene where they actually stake Dracula at the beginning of the movie, because that's how they blow it. That's a great scene, and they have that in there. I think the novelization would be awesome. I think people would love to collect that. I think you're right. I think you've got something there. Again, I think that's it's a thing with rights and an issue, and who has publication rights for this title. And hopefully, I think this something maybe in the next year or two that may iron all that out, because it's a timeline thing, and maybe everybody will get some cool stuff like that. Hopefully.
Awesome. Gentlemen, before we call it a night, I would really like to just show you a few things. The Monster Squad has some amazing international posters, and you brought this up last time,
yes.
Andre. I would just like to take a few, and I would like to hear your comments on them as the stars of the movie and you are being depicted in said posters. Of course, we have, no, I don't even have your real one. That's funny. I only have the weird ones. This one was interesting.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the ultimate foreign one sheet.
Yeah.
because she has no clothes on, and she's a cartoon, and that doesn't get any more Italian.
Yeah. I'm wondering if people can see that. Can you guys see the overlays? Because
It popped up for a second, and then
Yeah.
okay, there we go. Here we go.
Ah,
All right,
there.
sorry about that. There it is.
I've
this-
never seen that one.
Yeah, this is a Monster Squad poster somewhere. This is absolutely nuts. I like this one a lot. I thought this one's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's actually a artistic. Vance Kelly is a well-known artist that made that art piece in, I believe, 2016, 17.
Wow.
And that was a big seller for him. That's one of my favorites. That's really cool. That's a Vance Kelly print.
Amazing. Okay, and next we have this one. This one's pretty cool.
That's Ryan Lambert's favorite one.
Ryan, tell me, why is this your favorite one?
The Monster Squad, starring young Hilary Swank.
That's why he likes that one. He thinks I look like Hilary Swank.
No.
Which I'm fine with, because Hilary Swank is gorgeous.
Maybe her little brother or something.
Yeah, I'm always fine with it. I don't know what this. I mean, I get it. Brent looks a little kind of weird and corny, and Ryan looks like, yeah. Ryan always says he looks like Tommy Lee Jones there.
Okay, and what about this one? That one's pretty rad.
That one is, that's got to be. What is that one? I don't know where that one's from. But yeah, that's a funky one too. Between all the international one sheets and some of the like the Japan and Korean one are just really neat, very very of the era. And the European ones, the Spanish one's pretty bitchin'. That's the German, or that's the Dutch or the German one. Monster Bus, of course.
That's so cool. Which one's this one? I thought this was awesome.
That's Spain. That one's a really neat poster.
Yeah,
Spain or Mexico. I think it's Spain.
Well, there's one I know that is one of your particular favorite ones, and it has a great factoid of why. And I saved this one for last. Andre, tell everybody why this is your favorite Monster Squad poster.
Well, I think it should be. That's the Australian one sheet, and it's the only one that has the hero of the movie on it. It's the only one that has Phoebe.
Aww.
It's true. People forget that Phoebe's the actual hero of the movie because, if she didn't read from that book, no matter how many 5 or 4 confirmed kills that Ryan had got there, they wouldn't have really gone anywhere without Dracula being sucked into that hole. So
that's right. So, and it's actually kind of a cool poster. Also, it's got some movement and some design.
What was that, Ryan?
6.
6 confirmed kills.
No, 4.
He killed the werewolf and Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
That's it. We didn't start a new thing here. Damn it! Don't reinforce this. This is not good. Now I have to deal with this.
Everybody, you have to remember that the actor who played Uncle Rico in the Monster Squad, the werewolf.
Dynamite.
The werewolf in the Monster Squad was played by Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite. So I'm sure that a lot of you don't know that factoid. Andre, you told us that last time. And Melissa and I, when we do the dishes every now and then, we're like, can you believe the werewolf's Uncle Rico? I know, right? Like, it's crazy.
Oh my God, that just blew my mind too. I never even knew.
John Grease, who's probably one of the best character actors ever, is also my favorite thing he did is Laszlo in Real Genius, but he's also an ex-agency pal of Liam Neeson in Taken.
Oh my God!
Do you think
Liam Neeson is like?
Do you think
this?
Liam Neeson is bitter about his experience on Monster Squad? Where they're like, "Hey, Mr. Neeson, I heard you're almost on Monster Squad." Monster Squad, you say? Huh? I waited on that set all day for them. I was supposed to play a man who was invisible in the mirror, but they didn't seem to have
pretty
time
good.
for me.
That's a good Neeson.
That's why there needs to be a sequel. People will lose their minds for it, and then if Liam Neeson
starring
shows up,
Liam Neeson.
no, as like his Dracula's brother or something, and then he says something like, "You never could handle this properly," or something.
No, I know.
Real fans will know.
I know what happens. Liam Neeson's daughter gets taken by Dracula, and he gets a phone call. He doesn't have a particular set of skills. Amazing. Guys, this has been absolutely awesome. I believe we had a time frame, and I really want to I really want to respect that timeline and not wear out a welcome, so you guys will come back on the show one day. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. This is a crazy time in the world, and I think we all need something to look forward to and have some fun. And thank you for having fun with us and everyone else who is commenting. This is all about us tonight, Monster Squad fans. So thank you very much for this.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us and me again. I appreciate it. We'll come on anytime. It's fun to hang out and chat, and everybody stay safe and stay well, and we'll all get to hang out again soon.
But we're going to take you up on that. You have to understand, if you say that, we are going to take you up on that.
Oh, that's totally fine. That's fine. I love it. I mean, I can't wait for you guys to see the doc. When Wolfman's Got NARDS comes out.
Where and when? That's
so VOD and Blu-ray DVD actual release date is October 27th in US and Canada. So
amazing.
In shape. And but right now you can actually pre-order the Blu-ray on Amazon and a couple other places along with the DVD. The iTunes pre-order link just went live yesterday if you're a digital download type person. So you can pre-order all that now, and it's waiting for you on the 27th, and you'll be the first people to get it. Or you can wait till the 27th and purchase or rent on any of your VOD platforms, whether it's Dish Network or Spectrum or Comcast or whatever your cable service is, or Telus. And so I can't wait for you guys to finally see it, because we've talked about it twice.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come back on after you do get to see it. We can talk about another movie.
Yeah.
Please, I could talk Monster Squad day and night, and really with the new platform, it's all about these amazing people who are watching, commenting. It's all about them. And one of the amazing people watching is a gentleman who's bigger and handsomer than me, named Nick Gallianos, and it's his birthday in a few days. So originally, this broadcast, I'm going to say right now, was if we did it last week, we would have celebrated Melissa's birthday. And if we did it next week, we would have celebrated Nick's birthday. So happy birthday to the Gallianos children.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, happy birthday in advance, Nick.
Amazing. With that, as we go, everybody, we're going to play a trailer for Wolfman's Got NARDS, coming out for the first time in a long time.
Hold on, I'll give you, here's a little treat. Ready?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Melissa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Oh my God, what just happened? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, my ovaries are canceled. Thank you.
Lovely.
Such a huge crush on Rudy growing up, and that's just, words are failing me. So thank you.
Amazing. All right, everybody, check out this. We're going to be getting going, everybody, but check out this trailer for Wolfman's Got NARDS. The Monster Squad legacy lives on in the fans, and that's what this movie is about. So let's take a look at this trailer for Wolfman's Got NARDS. And if we don't see you after, we love you. Take it easy.
It's just something that I've always known. I can always go back to it. It's helped me through some really hard times.
That emotional comfort of coming home.
That safe net when I didn't feel safe.
It takes me back to my childhood every single time.
It's like hearing that great rock song when you get your first kiss or something. You always are going to remember it.
How many of you had never seen Monster Squad before tonight? You're welcome.
The seed for the movie was I want to do the Little Rascals Meet the Universal Monsters.
Scaring the hell out of kids seemed like a great idea, and then the laughs played against that.
It was a crazy time. Everything happened very fast.
This is probably the biggest thing I'm ever going to do. I didn't know that this would be such a formative beginning.
When Dracula lifted her up,
He hissed at me.
I didn't have a lot of work to do because she was actually terrified.
On an opening night, we went to all the theaters that it was playing in.
I will not forget that.
It was a huge hit. And by it, I mean the Lost Boys.
There was 7 or 8 people in the theater.
And then it disappeared.
I never got the sense that this movie was finding a new audience or that its original audience were enjoying it again.
The first time I ever saw Monster Squad,
I was at a sleepover party with a friend of mine. It was on HBO.
Every time we go to the video store, that's what I'd rent.
I even had a bootleg DVD.
The word got out.
Everything we had seen up till then had all been kid stuff, and this was the first taste of something dangerous.
These kids are real kids.
We were a part of the squad.
we went to school with them and we are them.
this movie resonates.
They put up the ticket saying Monster Squad Reunion.
It sold out real fast.
Wait, you know this movie?
I did try to start my own Monster Squad.
We never actually performed any jobs.
You find lifelong friends because you have this one weird thing in common that nobody else knows about.
This is a zine I did. It's called I Had Rudy.
Wow. What a really pleasant surprise that this seed that we planted grew into something.
It's like shooting a basket in 1987 and then it doesn't go in until 20 years later.
Amazing. Everybody check out that movie
Yes.
at the end of the month. Make
Yes.
sure. And hey, buying is voting, remember. So, yeah, you can maybe, if you're crafty of your websites, but seriously, go to VOD and stuff like that, because people who worked hard on this movie for years and stuff like that, your purchases matter. So support great art such as this, and I look forward to figuring out how VOD works, just so I can make sure that I give this movie its just desserts. Just right before we go, Ryan, do you have anything to say to your fans that have followed you all these years and dig your stuff?
Somehow during all of this time, I'm managing to put out a new album by my band Kill Moi. Maybe November, probably the end of November, December, we'll see. But if you follow me on Instagram or any of those things, Ryan Lambert 111 is my Instagram. So you can follow me and you'll definitely see when that album is actually being released. I'm pretty proud of it. Maybe the best thing I've ever done. It's very bizarre in the sense that it's not traditional rock. There's like a 4-piece horn section. It's kind of insane. Throwback to like Wings, maybe 70s, like big band stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm writing some stuff and otherwise, like screenplay stuff. And then we got the doc. So our plates are full over here.
Amazing. And Andre, something you want to say to the fans, or where people can check you out online and stuff like that, and make this sweet. Nick pre-ordered on Amazon. Sweet.
Thank you, Nick. That's awesome. Look, I do want you guys to see the doc, and I do want to come back if you'll have me, and we'll talk about it specifically, because to see what you guys think. All the things that you were talking about, what Monster Squad is and the fan base, that's what the doc's about. And Ryan Lambert always likes to say, he's like, don't ask the question, just watch the doc. Like, that's what it is. That's exactly what it's about. It's about, the reason these fans connected and kept this movie alive, and, how it impacted them and changed them in some way, shape, or form. But what's cool about the doc, please follow @the Squad Doc. Go to the website, watch the trailer again, share all the media that's getting it. Please retweet, because it's not easy to get a movie out. We have a great distribution partner with Gravitas Ventures, and my studio partner, Pilgrim Media Group, and my company Fitter Piper, which made the doc. It's hard to get it out there, and it's going to be another Monster Squad type of story. It's about the fans, but the fans are going to be the ones that make this documentary, a success, and as much as it can be. And it's about them and for them and by them and because of them. And that's what's rad about it. So please follow that, and, tell a friend, retweet, post, whatever you can to get the exposure out. That's the shameless ask and the shameless plug, because a handful of people put a lot of work into this, and there was no way I could have done it myself. Between people like Henry McComas and Wes Caldwell, and even people like Ashley Bank and Ryan Lambert, who were troopers for 10 or 11 months dealing with another case of me being an insufferable know-it-all, bossing them around, telling them what to do for so long, and dragging them all over the country. And Ryan and I went to London, but it's really kind of some special stuff. And working on the doc kind of changed us as well. And so any of your support on the doc is actually support of those cool people. It's not just about me. It's not about us as the cast, but it's about cool people like Ryan. And what's great about the doc is nobody touched this movie or worked on it in any way, shape, or form that doesn't have a connection to the Monster Squad, which is very rare in movie making. Everybody's either a fan or they worked on it, had a thing. And Ryan mentioned, he's working on a new album with, one of his bands, Kill Moi, which is awesome, rad music. And what's neat about half of the soundtrack in Wolfman's Got Nards is from Ryan Lambert's bands.
Oh, no way.
Cool.
So you hear their stuff in the background there. He was very cool, and his bandmates were gracious enough to allow us to have the music in there. And that means even more, because it's all staying together. Everybody's still connected.
It's amazing. Man. All right, everybody. Well, without further ado, we shall end the broadcast tonight. But the Monster Squad lives on in Wolfman's Got Nards. So take it easy, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. Share this around and show it to some Monster Squad fans.
Check out Wolfman's Got Nards. I cannot wait to see it because I keep rewatching Monster Squad to just sometimes I'll see something else in a scene or something, and it's just more. Everyone wants more, so I'm really looking forward to it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Melissa.